with number 32, Karl Hopper again, and Hopper, like, first of all, starts off talking about Sunday's performance against Slough here at home.
Bit of a gong show really as far as Swindon are concerned. I mean, turning up with six outfield players and a goalie, it's a bit of something needs to be done about that. I think it's a bit of a shame for the boys who turned up on their part. We beat them 50-1 and could have been a lot more, I think, but the kids that brought and played well. They all got a pat on the back, I think, from a few of our players at the end of it for putting up a bit of a performance. I mean, it's hard when you've got maybe teams have found it hard to come here when you're running 3 lines. So to come with 1 line and 1 change, it's a bit of a ridiculous predicament. But I think it's a bit hard to get yourself into one of them games where we've had good results against Slough all year round, and I think the players, it's a bit disheartening for players like myself and everybody in our dressing room to think that we're only playing against 6 kids, so you can't really, as much as you want to go out and put in a good performance, I think that people just go out and do their thing, and it's hard to maybe make them hits what you would do normally in case one of them. Not that you don't want to hurt somebody, but if somebody does get it, it just makes it hard for themselves, doesn't it? So I think it's a shame what they did, but the guys who turned up did themselves proud. I think it was good. It was good to see the young kids putting in the effort.
Going on to Sunday's performance again, away this time to Slough. Gives like your overall viewpoint of the team's performance. Any positives, any sort of negatives?
To be fair, I don't think there was too many negatives. I think the negatives are mainly down to individuals throughout the team. I think when you're playing teams like that and you know it's going to be a big goals for. I mean, people sometimes you get a big puck happy and you hang on to it a bit longer, maybe looking for an extra assist or another goal, and we probably missed out on a few opportunities where we was hanging on too much or didn't move the puck as frequent as we normally do, and we missed out on a few more goals. But positives, I think we did what we had to do and we got the result. I mean, 14-1 was it on Saturday, I think. It's a good result away from home, even though same again as Sunday, we only had a short bench, and the kids who they had on the bench played reasonably well. I think if with a few more players and a bit more sensible coaching, I think Slough would be a decent enough team to play for or to be playing against. And
2 goals for yourself this weekend. Talk us through them.
Saturday's was a bit on the. I got the puck. I think it was off of one of the brazies or railing. Came across the blue line. Didn't really have anywhere to go on the backhand, and I just tried to get to the goal, and it's gone in the top corner. So it was quite a surprise for myself. Never mind everyone else on the bench who didn't really believe it. So yeah, that was good. And then Sundays, it was just I played the puck. Richie got the puck on the point. I dropped in to their slot area, and puck came over. Took it on a skate and just had a whack at it. I think I got more of the goalie than I did the puck. But it seemed to trickle underneath him, and they all count, I suppose, which is good. So yeah, it's nice to score a couple this weekend.
And the moonwalk goal celebration, where that come from and why you do it?
We've had a bit of banter this year about there's been said that there's going to be a £30 HMV vouchers for the best goal celebration, and I think I took myself a bit by surprise when I did it, and I had nowhere else to go, so I just thought, sorry, I think I'll just I'll do the moonwalk. It was either that or me spin on the back, breakdancing move. You never know, that might come up before the end of the season. But yeah, I don't know. It was just, I think it was just a laugh. We was having a bit of a laugh on the bench. We was winning quite heavily, and it gets a bit tedious after a bit. You're playing and you're scoring that many goals as a team, and teams don't seem to be responding, and it gets a bit subdued on the bench, I think. And just to pick it up a bit, I think we all had to chip in, I think, and that was my pennyworth, I think we'll call it. But yeah, it was fun. The lads enjoyed it. Gets me moving a bit. But yeah, not too bad.
And finally, what about Brian Bidoff? A bit of hassle, aggro from him at Slough?
Yeah, I've not really known Brian that long. I mean, he's a friend of a couple of friends of mine who I've played with over the years, and people have said quite good things about him. I know a lot of people in Chelmsford think quite highly of him when he played here. And just when we played him away before, he was shouting off the bench, stick people, break wrists, break legs. I told the guys not to go over and shake the bench's hands at the end of the game. I just think to be shouting things like that, especially when he's got such a young bench, who are kids who are maybe a bit like our kids here. They're quite easily led at that age, so whatever someone says, they try and do the best. But to do that against people who have played a bit, I mean, I know from playing against like people like Nicky Chin, if I was to go around waving my stick part in the air, I know the first thing that would come over my head would be the back end of his stick or a punch in the face. So I just think it's a bit of a cheap way, and especially when the kids are developing in Slough, because they're not half decent players. So to tell a kid to do that, and for a kid to go and get maybe beat up or to be sticked or something, it could put a kid off. And I think Slough maybe need to look for the future for them kids who are playing for the second team to be moving up into the Jets, because they don't seem to have that many local boys who are playing up there. And Biddy was shouting all this, and it just wound me up. And then I've got a penalty. It was a bit. Maybe it was a penalty, maybe it wasn't, but he shouted off the bench, so I had a bit of untoward words to say to him, and he rose to it a bit, and I gave him a bit back, and then the bench started again, and she got a bit on the bench. But it was just one of the things, really. It was forgotten about, really, at the end of it. It was just, I think it's just heat of the moment, you get wound up, and I think we've seen it quite a bit over the year, this year, with certain people maybe taking things a bit too far, or maybe I should have just gone to the penalty box straight away and maybe not said what I had to say. But when someone's shouting in your ear, it's hard to get away from it. But it's all over and done with, and we got the results at the weekend, so everything's going to plan still for 100% record this year, not losing any points. So, all being well, come this time at the end of March, we'll be having another conversation saying how well the team's done on the promotion and not getting beat.